In this video, we'll dive into the practical steps of measuring and reading resistance using an analog multimeter. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to confidently measure resistance values and understand how to interpret the readings accurately. First, turn your multimeter range selector switch to the ohm setting with the omega symbol. If your multimeter has multiple resistance ranges, like times 1, times 10, times 100, or times 1K, start with a mid-range setting. Safety first, if the component you're testing is part of a circuit, ensure the circuit is powered off before measuring. This will prevent any potential damage to the multimeter or the circuit. Next, connect the black probe to one terminal of the resistor and the red probe to the other terminal. Ensure the connection is secure for stable reading. Now, watch the needle as it moves across the ohm scale to indicate the resistance value. Use this part of the scale when reading resistance. The scale shows values of 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, 200, 1K, 2K, and the infinity symbol. But what about the values of the other lines on the scale? Here are the values of each mark. Understanding the scale is crucial here. Between 0 to 2 ohms, each bar equals 0.2 ohms. Between 2 to 10 ohms, each bar equals 0.5 ohms. Between 10 to 20 ohms, each bar equals 1 ohm. Between 20 to 50 ohms, each bar equals 2 ohms. Between 50 to 100 ohms, each bar equals 5 ohms. From 100 to 200 ohms, each bar equals 20 ohms. Beyond 200, the bars indicate 250, 300, and 400 ohms respectively. The infinity symbol on an analog multimeter indicates that the resistance is too high to be measured by the multimeter or that the current range setting does not match the resistance being tested. Now that we understand the other marks on the scale, we can calculate the resistor's value. If the range is set to times 10 and the needle points to 20 ohms, you multiply the range by the reading. 10 times 20 equal to 200 ohms. This is the resistance of your resistor. Once you have a stable reading, record the resistance value, considering the range factor. After taking your readings, always turn off the multimeter or set the range selector to an inactive position, such as DCV with no connection. This conserves battery life. Alright, let's measure the resistance of another resistor. The first thing we need to do is set the range selector on our multimeter. For this example, let's set it to times 10. Next, we're going to connect the probes to the resistor. One probe goes on each end of the resistor, just like we've done before. Now, take a look at where the needle points on the scale. If you see the needle pointing too far to the left, that's a sign that the resistance is really high. When using an analog multimeter to measure resistance, the most accurate readings are typically found in the middle portion of the scale. This is because the analog meter's needle movement is most linear in this region, reducing potential parallax errors and providing a finer gradation of the scale. At the ends of the scale, the needle movement can be compressed, making it harder to discern small differences in resistance. So, for the most precise readings, it's best to choose a resistance range where the expected value falls near the center of the scale. So, let's make things a little easier for ourselves and change the range to times 100 ohms now. You should see the needle move to the middle part of the scale. Let's calculate the resistance. The range is set to times 100 ohms, and the needle is pointing to 15 ohms. To find the actual resistance, we multiply the two. 15 times 100 equal to 1500 ohms, or 1.5 k ohms. Let's try another example. This time, we'll set the range to times 10 ohms now. Connect the probes and see where the needle lands. It's pointing to the third mark on the scale, which represents 0.6. To find the resistance, we multiply the value by the range. 0.6 times 10 equal to 6 ohms. Did you notice how the needle pointed too far to the right this time? That's telling us the resistance is pretty low. When that happens, it can be a good idea to switch to a lower range to get a more accurate reading. Let's do that now. Set the range to ×1 and check the needle again. Now, it's pointing to 6 ohms since the range is ×1, the resistance is simply 6 ohms. See how the reading is much clearer this time? That's because the needle is in a better position on the scale, giving us the exact value more easily. Let's have some fun with a reading challenge. I'm going to set the range, connect a resistor, and then we'll figure out the resistance together. Challenge 1. The range is set to ×1K or 1000 ohms. What's the resistance? The needle points to 36 ohms, so we multiply 36 by 1000, giving us 36,000 ohms, or 36K ohms. Challenge 2. The range is set to ×100 ohms. What's the resistance? The needle points to 55 ohms. Multiply that by 100, and you get 5,500 ohms, or 5.5K ohms. Challenge 3. The range is set to ×10 ohms. What's the resistance of the resistor? The needle points to 3 ohms. Multiply that by 10, and you have 30 ohms. Challenge 4. The range is set to ×1. What's the value of the resistor? The needle points to 250 ohms. Since the range is ×1, the resistance is 250 ohms. Final challenge. The range is set to ×1K. What's the resistance of the resistor? The needle points somewhere between 44 and 46. Let's take the middle value of 45 ohms. Multiply that by 1000, and you get 45,000 ohms, or 45K ohms. Great job following along with this lesson on measuring and reading resistance using an analog multimeter. By now, you should feel more confident in your ability to set the range selector, connect the probes, and accurately read the resistance values on the scale. We walked through the step-by-step process, from understanding how to interpret the needle's position to calculating the resistance based on the selected range. We also practiced adjusting the range for more precise readings and even had some fun with a few reading challenges to reinforce what we've learned. Remember, the key to getting accurate measurements is choosing the right range and understanding where the needle is on the scale. With these skills, you're now better equipped to measure resistance in different components accurately. Keep practicing, and soon, reading resistance with your multimeter will become second nature. Thanks for watching.